It is important to know that words don't move mountains. Work, exacting work, moves mountains. Danielo Dolci. Hello, welcome back, air signs. This is Firefly Moon Tarot, the tarot channel for all things moon sign and moon cyclical related. We are currently experiencing the full moon in Virgo, which is known as the spinner's moon. This is the spinner moon makes the threads of life for each person. So if you would think of the DNA of each thread holding the minute details and the story of your life, you could, pick this thread all the way back to the beginning of your time. And as life, it is built through eras and acts and stages. So this is going to emphasize that kind of information, that kind of path setting. Also, Virgo is ruled by the sixth house, which is the house of health, work, and service. So this is also going to relate how the story of your life pertains to these aspects. So how you meet adversity, duty, responsibility, and your personal growth, right? It's also ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of communication. And we'll just see how important that plays a role as your cards come out. So just a little bit more about the spinner's moon. Since work is, it's very interesting. The spinner's moon, because it is related to work, Virgo, which the sixth house, your house of work and service. Like a lot of you may seek jobs that promote a sense of service or duty, teachers, nurses, military. You may be working for nonprofits. You may be working with a church or a spiritual organization. Just how you integrate, you want a bit of service in your life. So you also may find yourself volunteering for certain organizations, whether, walking dogs at the Humane Society. There just may be something that you feel that it is not work unless you are participating in service. And this may actually be as definable as the fact that the job that you have where you earn your money through, you may not consider that work because it doesn't incorporate a sense of service. And you may participate in a volunteer network outside of that actually does feel like work to you, even though you don't get paid for it. So the definition and the lines between how work and the agency of it and how it's defined in your own life is how you get to shape it, not how anybody else does, right? Learning that working alone also won't get as much done as working together. This may be that you think you can do things alone or only you can do it right. Definitely as we're into the air signs, this may be applicable, micromanaging. Although you do identify the qualities and abilities in others, but still somehow you may not want to relinquish a certain sense of your power regarding your work or service to somebody else. Maybe you want mentorship. Maybe your big brother, big sister. Mentorship is a big part of this type of moon. You may be drawn to mentorship or see people just, it could be as little as just giving advice to people you see on the street and you think you can help them. It is also the web of your obligations of your life and who do you owe, who owes you, that kind of situation. And lastly, is our act of service done with heart or purpose? A time for creating an environment that combines useful work and friendly bonds. So that is the energy of this moon right now. Now, I think some of you I definitely noticed, coming out of the Leo's moon, I was full of energy then. Of course, I'm a lot more fire sign, but air, you may be related to this as well, than the earth. And it's like, like kind of having going on a sugar high. And you're like, oh my God, I've got almost so much energy. And I was accomplishing so much. I was doing so much. And then all of a sudden it hit, the effects of it hit. And I realized in this moon, I have less energy. It's kind of being an earth sign, even though it's a mutable earth sign. It is that, I don't know if any of you have ever played sports or you've ever had those dreams where you can't run, Like I played sports, and I don't know how to explain this. There were days like I'm a quick sprinter, and part of my job and my position was to be a quick sprinter. And there were days I felt like I couldn't lift my legs. I don't know how to explain the actual performativity of the sluggishness, which, you know, appeared, or how it manifested in my actual physiological behavior. But it was like jumping into cold water and trying to swim. For any of you who have tried to do that, like, there's a big difference between swimming in, you know, lukewarm water. You know, I'm not talking about some of you people 60 degrees Fahrenheit or 20 degrees Celsius. I'm talking about cold, like, you know, 10 degrees Fahrenheit and about 8 degrees Celsius. Like, cold. Catches, knocks the wind right out of you. It was very much like that feeling. And all of a sudden my body felt like I couldn't, you know, work the actual limbs and nerves or anything to get them to move into place. So you maybe experience that as well. I don't have any specific channeled messages for you at this time. Just so you know, though the Virgo's moon, oh, I already shuffled, so I guess it wants me to do one more. Oh, that's why. I think that there is a card overturned. In what? There is. Spirit wanted me to see this. Okay, so your first card, the Eight of Materials. Beautiful, beautiful. I don't know how that got overturned. I don't know if that was the message that's supposed to come out in the last reading and it just didn't show itself. Either way, Spirit meant it for you. Take it as it is. There was one extra thing. Like, I try to vary the moon card that I have out at different times. I have looked at this card numerous times, right? I have viewed it numerous times. But for some reason today, when I was working on a writing project, the sleeves and this color, I had never noticed like the underlayer to this, and it looks like, you know, the colors and like the fabric would kind of drape down the bridge as she walked, as she dragged it behind her. I don't know, but it looked beautiful to me. It looked like a rainbow, but it is not all the colors of a rainbow. So I don't know. I was very drawn to just how hidden beauties, right? Like something that you've looked at for so long and then all of a sudden you notice something different. So since it does have to do with sixth house and work and service, you may be doing a job, but maybe there's a new like department in your company, or a new opportunity, or a new way of working with someone that you're like, oh my gosh, this provides so much more well-being and benefit to me, you know, emotionally and psychologically. I had no idea it was possible. I don't know. So that's coming through. All right. Okay. I'm going to get on with your reading now. We already had the first card because Spirit decided to show it to me, which is going to be the Eight of Materials. Muse of Inspiration. Second card. Let's get 4 cards for the overall energy. Oops, okay. Let's see if one more comes. Yep. It's, oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Looks like we're getting more than 4 cards. Okay. Let's see if any of the rest of them are muses. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to put it like this. Yep. Yep. Okay. Now I'm going to try not to talk too long about this kind of stuff. I'm going to try also not to talk through this portion of it, so I can put it at higher speed. Next up, spirits, we are doing Gemini, so you don't have to sit through me shuffling these as long. So, Gemini, thank you very much. Gemini, what else do they need to know during this spinner's moon? All messages for their highest good. Thank you, Spirit. What information do Geminis need to know at this time for their highest good? This is the full moon in Virgo, the spinner's moon. Thank you, Spirit. Nope, not taking those. Not taking those. I will, however, take those for Libra. These are my Libras. This is my Aquarius. 2 more, Spirit. what messages do? Thank you very much. All right, welcome. So I am going to start off with your overall energy for all the air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And then I will go into the individual signs after offering a card of inspiration. So there are a lot more cards here, but one of them was the Muse of Inspiration, which I'm feeling that the two major arcanas that came afterwards are directly kind of, you know, they are the direct lineage message of this card. So now we already know that we started off with the 9 of materials, or the 8 of materials, my fault, which is a very prosperous, joyous, fulfilling card. And I do not want to forget, before I get too far, the way that your cards came out. Like yesterday when I was doing Earth, now this doesn't surprise me because Earth is, a little not unmovable at times. But the cards, it took a while for the cards to come out. They were just being really heavy. Whereas your reading so far, like the amount of time it took me to deal these cards out was minuscule, and they flew out. Like these ones flew out. Like normally I only use 4 cards. I've got 6 here. All of these came out together, and plus an extra one that I dealt out with the rest of them. So I want to say that, and even when I was shuffling these cards and the way they separated, there's a very direct message here. And it is very clear what wants to come through at this time. There is no hesitation. I feel like that is absolutely, like, there's no hesitation. So maybe also that's a message, like, don't hesitate on something. If it's feeling right, do it. It's, yeah, definitely. Sorry. Okay. So then we had the Muse of Inspiration that came out. I do read all the, Muse tarot cards in the upright because the author, when she wrote the book, there are no, clarifications as to what a reversal would mean. Now there are on her website, but since and I mean, I tried to look it up, like if you are supposed to read them in reversals. I currently don't. I read the energy of it, and sometimes Spirit will offer me a kind of reversed meaning of the word when based on the cards that come with it. Okay, now in relation to, in direct response to the Muse of Inspiration, we have the Chariot and the Hermit, which is such interesting contrast in a dichotomy. Like it is, these are basically antithesis to each other. Now, as I mentioned, or I think I mentioned right at the beginning, the Hermit is the Virgo card. So it is the card that represents this type of moon. So the energy around it may be, so this is where I'm getting like reverse energy, right? So the energy around it is like what I'm getting is this is the message of this represents the Virgo moon. Oh, one more I think I was really excited to do this reading today. Like I had the energy. I don't know what it is. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get up and I'm gonna do the air sign reading. So okay, back to this. This is the energy of the moon. This is what the universe is giving right now. This is the subject. This is the subject matter, basically. If one is to relate this to any type of English paper or presentation or proposal of any sort, this is the subject matter. So right now we are in the landscape we are in is this full moon in Virgo, the spinner's moon, that makes the thread of life for each person based on specifically the subjects of the 6th house. So health, work, service, how we meet adversity, duty, responsibility, and personal growth. So what it's saying right now in this context, what I'm getting, it's not saying embody the Hermit energy where it's time to go inward and look at that one piece of inspirational light, focus on it, become so knowledgeable on it that you are, in essence, that knowledge. I am feeling that you have that knowledge. Now it's time to go out and use it. It's time to giddy up. Like for any of those Avatar, The Last Airbender, yip, yip. Okay? So it is time to get going. There is something here that you are inspired about. The message I gave you earlier, that it was saying don't hesitate. That's what I'm getting here with this. Like, there is something out there that has an opportunity to provide you that service with your work, a way to integrate, service well-being, natural well-being into your balance. Because again, it goes back to health. And this is not just your physical health of making sure that you're going to a general practitioner doctor, but this has to do with your spiritual health and your mental health. So whatever spiritual community leader you go to, whatever, if you go to a therapist, if you go to a psychoanalyst, if you do child trauma therapy, if you just go to a counselor, it's something that benefits all those aspects of your weave, right? Your spinner, the aspects of the threads of your life, right? So I'm seeing something real positive. I'm seeing active, progressive movement, and again, like, as you see all this light coming out, okay, focus, all this light coming out directly of her solar plexus chakra, right? And as I mentioned earlier, what I'm getting specifically, remember how I said that it's more beneficial to do things as a team than all on your own. We are not islands in this world. Nothing we do is without the assistance of others. Nothing. Even as much as you want to think it is, nothing. Because even, I studied for this test all on my own. No, you didn't. I'm sure you used a computer. I'm sure you read some books or papers that somebody else wrote, published, did the research for. The computer somebody built, and then somebody lined your house with electricity so you could get the electricity to do this, right? I don't care if, like, candle. Did you make the candle yourself? Did you make the paper yourself? If you use like old school pencil, did you make the pencil yourself? That just aspects of, we're not an island, right? Okay, so we don't things on our own. Now, moving on here, we have the 5 of materials and the 9 of inspiration. Regarding this is, and again, don't forget air sign. This is all air signs. This is just the general energy for air signs. This can be interpreted in different ways depending on your situation. These are general readings, so take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. So I'm absolutely, these two I am unfortunately pairing together, this 5 of materials and this 9 of inspiration, because both emanate a sense of hardship, or life isn't easy. Let's just put it this way. Life isn't easy. There's ups and downs. There's hills. It doesn't mean that you have a hard life. It doesn't mean that you are depressed. It doesn't mean that you, it doesn't have to mean. It could, you could be. That's fine. These natural human emotions are a part of understanding that you are human. We can't all, be robots or else. And as mentioned before, specifically what I said, it's about how you meet adversity, this moon is. And if there is there's a couple other cards in the deck that represent adversity, but these are 2 very strong cards that talk about meeting adversity and how you respond to it. So this is this is meeting adversity, and look at like that. Just like peacocking, that flare that's coming off, like she battled and now she's clean, unharmed, unscathed, like just literally I feel like a warrior coming out of a battle, like this is her battle uniform. Like she had to go through something and now she's just peak strong. And some of that probably had to do, most felt like they had to do it alone. Now, there's also a possibility that the adversity that you had to go through was that you were feeling really isolated from a situation in which you were at, and you didn't feel like you were getting the help that you needed. Sometimes we all feel that way, like why, it's a really hard thing to have a friend that we can truly confide and trust in, because even as close as we get to some of our bestest friends, there's almost like something that always puts a wall in front of sharing that last bit of personal information, right? Now, that's not to say everybody has it. There could, I'm able to pretty much, there's two really strong soul connections in my life which I'm a pretty, that are not, like, one's obviously my sister, but she can't go anywhere. No, but the other, like some friends where I'm able to actually push that boundary. And there's just some secrets that you feel, or some personal details. They don't have to be secrets that you're hiding something because of your shame. It's just, you have this persona, right? And you're afraid if you allow someone else to see a certain weakness or a certain doubt in you, that they will think differently of you. So we end up kind of, sometimes sexual relationships, that's why, some people really, I feel, turn to sexual relationships in a lot of way. And that because you're forced into a really personal environment. You basically can end up living together, sleeping together, using the same toilet and like showering together. Like there's just a different kind of like closeness where you kind of have to open up, but still married couples hide things from each other all the time. It may not be the healthiest form of marriage or relationship, but what I'm feeling this is that moment where it is, you feel like you couldn't communicate with anyone in your circle about this. So maybe you did go to a therapist. Maybe you spent time with a spiritual leader of some sort. This could have been the person who is helping you seek guidance through it, right? So you can move on. But I see you overcoming it. You may not have overcome it yet. Like I said, this moon may put the pressure on you. Like this last Leo moon was so energizing. This moon is going to be a little bit heavier, really kind of digging up those deep wounds, if to say, and kind of showing you, are you good enough to do this? Do you think you've accomplished what you wanted? Like I said, it's the threads of life. So if you're one of those that put a lot of pressure on where you need to be according to a guideline, like you said, you need to graduated by high school, you're going to graduate with honors by 17, and you're going to finish university in only 3 years ahead and 1 year ahead of schedule, and you're going to be cum laude something and join a fraternity and be the head of it and get a job in this industry by then and be a VP by then. And if you haven't accomplished that, or you have accomplished and you feel bad about it, or you have accomplished it and you realize that, why did I do that to myself? Why did I limit my life to these kind of arbitrary guidelines or benchmarks? Have I experienced anything? Have I enjoyed my life? Is there, like, how much of all that do, like, the benefits of that? What are the benefits of that? Am I reaping any benefits of that? Is this all there is? And maybe taking a look at your life and what you've actually contributed, because again, this is about service. So is that value in that job, that way you're making money, that way you're paying for your material lifestyle, is it equivalent to a form of service that makes you feel a bond with your community, or a bond and a commitment with society? I don't know. Maybe you know. Sorry, I'm having my tea while I'm drinking this. I'm doing this. Okay, so that is what I'm getting. But what I'm seeing here, like I told you, I didn't talk much about the Eight of Materials because I think this is just the underlying energy of, abundance. This is just, like, I want to say ethereal, an ethereal sense of abundance. Just, you've got, like, each one of these flowers is basically, she's holding it like a yo-yo, right? She's juggling all these different things. She succeeded at all these different things. So I think this is the general energy right now, is how you're approaching your success, how you're questioning your success. Like, is it based on other people telling you that, oh my God, you've done so much, but you're like miserable inside? Or, oh my gosh, you haven't done more, but you're gloriously happy inside? Like, and they don't know half the things that you do. They only see one side of you, Like this again, Five of Materials energy is feeling separated from a community, right? Feeling like you're not being seen as you. But I see you coming, like, I see you coming out of it. I don't know if that's now or that's later. Obviously, it's different timing for each of you individuals. This overall energy is going to last for the next 2 weeks. Those of you who are Virgos, either your sun or your rising sign, or Cancer, I believe is. Oh no, it's not Cancer. I get Taurus and let me see. Sorry. Yes, it is Cancer. I was right. See, don't doubt yourself. Like I said it with such confidence with Cancer, and then I just went, oh no, maybe it's not. You know, like that doubting yourself, right? No, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. You've got this. This is just the Hermit again, just reinforcing. One, it could be the person that you seek guidance, spiritual, mental, or physical health from. The other is it's just the timing card. Like this is the energy of the time around you. This is it's a timing card, right? It's happening right now. This is what's happening. This is what's going on. This is the energy that's happening around you right now and how you can get through it. Because there's a beautiful, I mean, whatever this is these biker James Bond girls, like just fire, right? Wings of fire. Oh, I'm getting Sex of Leon. No, I mean King of Leon. Sex is on fire. I do that all the time with words. Perfectly incorrect. I'm getting that song, so that may be important. That may be relevant to one of you. Of course, it's a great song. It's very fun. All right, I am air signs. I am going to get a card of inspiration for you for this time. I've already shuffled. Oh yeah, this one's making a prominent. Like I said, these cards, when I shuffled them, they are very direct and clear cutting, like stiff, hard, like solid, stuck together. There was no mishing. So the card of inspiration for you, all air sign, is the ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening to you. It's happening for you, not to you. And I love that flower again, like the way that flowers, like the blooming, the blossoming, these two together. I mean, I think these are peonies and these are roses, obviously, but beautiful. So I am going to read from the book. And I think again, the ever unfolding rose, I'm getting this also, like this is the threads of life, Melvin. Like I said, you can trace back this thread and get the DNA of your story. And as life, new layers, you know, new eras, new chapters, new acts, like your life just continues to advance and unfold. And I think that's a great relationship to what I was saying earlier. Okay. Confirmation cards. It is the very first card, and I opened up directly to the page. All right. See, I'm very direct messages, okay? It's very clear, direct messages right now for you, air signs. Okay. Cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. The challenge of life is to keep your heart open when you most want to close it. See, just very... this battle right now, this battle. So this has to do with dealing with your battle, right? Okay. To open through hurt and loss, to allow what is falling away to fall away. Being human is a courageous act. A life well lived is full of losses and tragedies, as much as triumphs and adventures. Wherever you find yourself at the moment, life is coaxing you to keep your heart open, no matter how much it hurts. To continually unfold, to let life crack you open. Perhaps you are going through a difficult time right now, Instead of cursing the difficulty, see it as a blessing. Again, your adversity, how you deal with adversity. And what I was saying earlier, like, you are human. We are all human. Like, to have these emotions is natural. To keep things that you are afraid to show other people or share with other people is natural. To open yourself up to the truth that perhaps, as hard as it may be, life is happening for you, not to you. And one day, in the not too distant future, you may just bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. Now is the time to go gently, to treat yourself like a tender, sweet baby, to wrap yourself in a blanket and trust that Mother has you cradled in her arms. The seas may not be smooth sailing, but you are safe and you are held. One day, not too far from today, you will look back at the transformation and be blown away by the poetry of life. And don't forget, everything is going to be okay. So your, I guess, manifestation, your mantra or your affirmation for this card is, everything is going to be okay. Let it crack you open. Everything is going to be okay. Let it crack you open. Everything is going to be okay. Let it crack you open. All right. So with that last bit of information where it says to have, patience on yourself, to forgive yourself, to be kind to yourself, that is also what I'm getting with that Hermit energy, right? Yes, take action, move forward. This is a timing card, but don't forget what this energy represents, what the Hermit is all about. Introspection, right? Quiet, still knowing. There are times to act and there are times not to act. And you will know when, because it won't be based on your passion. It will be based on your rationality. There was, in high school, my psychology class, like one of the things and the most, I guess, the principle behind, anger or happiness or all these general sense of emotions. However, whatever hyperbole wants to be associated with any specific response. The main lesson that I remember them teaching in high school psychology is that the other person is not making you mad. It is you allowing that person to make you mad or make you sad or doubt yourself, or it kind of runs cyclical with those self-fulfilling prophecies, right? Or self-actualizing thoughts. Like, if you believe it to be true because they said it, then thus becomes it true. So I think that's also, a beautiful thing. Like, those are those moments, like when it's saying, like, as far as like, when to sit in contemplation and when to take action, you'll know, because the moments of contemplation come from the fact that you don't want to let somebody else's doubt infect your positivity, right? So you need to be above that and go beyond that. All right. Thank you very much, air signs. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. And just check in the description box down below for the specific timestamps for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And I'll see you there. Love and light. All right, Gemini, we are starting with you as we always do. Very interesting. So much of this moon, like when I've done the fire and the earth signs so far, and the number 9 came up a lot in one of them, and it was the cosmos came up in another one, as well as various advice cards about ending cycles. And the cosmos is all about, ending a new cycle and being ready to prepare a new stage. And the number 9s are also all about, completion, so something new can start. So it's very interesting that, so that was the main theme of the last 2 readings. Now, I didn't get that specifically with you, though a stage and a step toward following your dreams can always be a new era of your life, obviously. It's just not very clear cut with any Fool cards or any, you know, the cosmos. So, but you got the world cosmos. So this may be a life-changing event for you. This may be a reimagining of your identity. This may be a relocation, a sabbatical of sort, possibly, right? Now, interesting though, I mean, two very, the devil and the Queen of Materials. So it could be a release and a relinquish from the threads, the puppeteers in your life that led you to your current situation that you may not be as happy in. And for example, what I'm getting, pardon me, I need to take another sip of my lovely tea. Okay, so this is very prevalent, you know, in South Asian families, especially of Indian culture. Engineers or doctors, right? Their parents a lot of times want them to be engineers or doctors. And say you're one of those children and you became an engineer or your doctor and you are miserable at it, and basically those that control your strings, right? You're not in control of your life. When was the last time you actually controlled your life? I mean, you may have a perception that you're controlling your life because this path has led you to make a certain amount of money and have a certain amount of freedom, but you're not free to live your life. And this may be also part of the culture thing where not living your life freely, but allowing your parents to control the steps and the minutia and the direction of your life just may be something that you've accepted because it's part of your cultural identity. I don't know. But it may be something that you're trying to break away from. I mean, because I'm just controlling parents, and you may not look at them as controlling parents, again, because it might be part of your culture. You may think they just want the best for you. Maybe this is a Hispanic family as well. Obviously, it doesn't. That doesn't relate to the you having to be a doctor or an engineer specifically, but you know, Latin families can be very controlling over the aspects of your life and, you know, how to act, what to do, how to incorporate the family into it. And with this Queen of Materials, I am getting very family vibes. I'm getting real family vibes. I mean, obviously, specifically, it could be mother vibes. This matriarch, you know, this matriarch of the family. And you could be becoming the matriarch of the family, or you might be kind of going out away from the matriarch. That you may be trying to undercut the matriarch of the family. For some of you. Now this, yeah, it doesn't apply to all of you. I'm going to give all the different variations. Again, this is not a one-to-one reading. These are overall readings. First off, this is Earth energy, just direct Earth energy. And this is Capricorn energy. So you may be an Earth sign in your sun or your rising, or you may have Capricorn specifically in your sun or rising, or your mother may be of an Earth sign, absolutely, because this is also an Earth card, and Capricorn specifically. Now, the Queen of Materials, I can look up specifically which Earth sign she is. Just give me a moment. Virgo. So it may also be Virgo, right? And this is the Virgo full moon, right? This is the Virgo full moon. Okay. Now I'm going to go back into rereading this as a sign of, okay, this is the Virgo full moon. This is ruled by the planet Mercury. This is the Hermit card. This is the Queen of Materials card. It is also the 8 and the 9 of materials. Yes, 8, 9, and 10 of materials. So, now, this is Venus in Virgo. So, wait, no, this is the 8 of materials. This is the Sun in Virgo, which is all about prudence, right? Some of you may be having a sexual opening. I have to be very clear. Some of you may be like male or female. Female is around 28 years old. I feel like you've become a little bit more familiar with your body. You're feeling a lot more comfortable. You've kind of gone through some experiences. It's just kind of an awakening time. So some of you might be turning 28 and you may be expanding your sexual behavior into a new direction, and how you identify possibly even as well. Men, I'm not sure when it happens. I would guess a little older for you. As far as maturity wise, it usually happens a little later for men. Though I'm not sure of the age. I'm sorry, I can't say. Also, Capricorn, we just had it. Virgo is coming up in end of August, beginning of September. So the devil, I mean, not only is the devil like possibly about succumbing to your vices, it is also breaking away and creating freedom for yourself, right? It is overcoming the stigmas and the stereotypes. Yeah, I really feel like some of you, like the what you were doing, the how you get your service is not what inspires you. So I'm feeling that a lot of you are redirecting your power and your confidence towards a new direction that empowers you. I'm feeling empowerment coming from this collection as well. And as we all say, like we go through like stages, and this is telling me this is a really important moment for this. This is a really important lesson that you're learning or you're going through. This is an important, act in your life, chapter. Like, any book, has your first, second, and third act, and you have to introduce the characters and you go through the conflict and then you resolve the conflict. And I believe that's what this is. You're going through the conflict now. So this is a time of conflict. And like it says, you're going to come out of it with this 9 of inspiration. You're going to fight those battles. You're going to have to take on this role. Like in one sense, you might have to take on the patriarchy. In the other one, you're really coming into your own. So you're going to take on this role of what a confident you feels like. And you're going to have to kill the old you almost. Like a death. Like it's almost somebody, there is a death in someone. It wasn't yours, but yours is all about identifying it, because there's some unhealthy patterns and behaviors that you've been exhibiting, and this could be being dependent, not fulfilling your own voice, being the submissive in some sense to a stronger, more confident woman, and you're realizing that you could be that stronger, confident individual. So you're just coming into your own. It's a very new, important stage of your life, Gemini. And with the devil, it being a choice between two directions, and there's always like two chained individuals usually. And in this one, there is two, here and here. Gemini, you being two people at once all the time, maybe you're finding a way to integrate those two types of individuals into one solid being, because the flip-flopping between your moods, your attitudes, your what you want, what you need, just is not working. It's not healthy. And again, this is the 6th house energy, so it's talking to you about your health. So I think for some of you Gemini specifically, and you may have Capricorn specifically in your rising or your sun sign, or in your 6th house, that it's telling you that if you are those Geminis that really are bipolar, you really need to seek mental health assistance. Like if you really have the condition, then medication is a acceptable way to deal with it. There's also other forms, cognitive behavioral learning and things like that you can go through it. Meditation can probably help, as long as you're sticking to a spiritual practice in some sense or the other. But you are going to try and find ways to combine your two warring parties of your mind and your personality to become a stronger whole being. And that is a huge stage of progression for someone like a Gemini to get through, right? Huge. I mean, it may be a stereotype about Geminis and being the twins, you know, but it's a stereotype for a reason. All right. Thank you very much, my Geminis. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. Oh, wait, no, it is not done yet. We have to get an advice card for you, right? We can't leave without getting an advice card. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Gemini, you are ruled by Mercury as well. Last quarter moon in Pisces, talk less and feel more. So advice just at this time, maybe some of these bad habits that we're talking about are not knowing when to shut up, not knowing when to be a silent participant. Active listening is how I like to phrase it. You can learn so much more by actively listening, and not every thought that comes in your mind needs to be reiterated to the community, because not all of them are worth reiterating to the community. And if you've watched some of my videos, I've mentioned this before, that if you were in the middle of a conversation or participating in a discussion that requires communication, feedback, participation, things like that, and you have a thought that comes into your mind, but you don't want to interrupt them. And I think that's what also this is saying. You need to learn to stop interrupting people, is you hold on to the thought. And when the time comes for you to participate and to share your wealth of knowledge, if you have forgotten what you were going to say, then it was not worth saying. Now, most of the time, the good ideas, because that, active listening allows you to hear the entirety of the conversation out instead of interrupting. It also allows you to digest the different aspects of the material and allow your thoughts and your intellect to also interweave and intergrain regarding the movement and direction of the conversation, therefore providing you with the ability to participate in a higher vibrational way, because your response may now be more fine-tuned and tailored and show an ability, and show a higher intellect. Right? Like, oh, wow, that's a great addition to the conversation. Let's keep talking about this. I'm really enjoying talking to you, instead of like, oh my God, this person interrupted me again. What is wrong with them? Do they even listen? And then nobody trusts what you say because you have no ability to listen. And if you have no ability to listen, then how the hell are you actually learning? Like, you're just proving the point that you have an inability to learn, right? Okay, so advice directly and specifically, I will read from the book. Now, again, Pisces, I mentioned that. So if some of you have a sun or rising sign in Pisces, or Pisces in your 6th house. So last quarter moons, though, that's what else I was going to mention when I was talking about cycles. Each, like in the last, it was earth signs. Every single one for advice got a last quarter moon. So I'm very up to date that last quarter moons represent the ending of a cycle and preparation for the beginning of a new. Okay, so it's funny. Your advice was the very first, and your inspiration was the very first, and your advice is the very last. Okay, the danger in your current situation is that you're going to be really good at starting things and less good at finishing them. That may be the devil energy that you need to get over, because when the Queen of Materials commits to something, she grows, right? She commits. This card suggests that you need to talk less and feel more. So rather than telling people what you want now, Feel your feelings about what you want. What comes up? Do you believe in yourself or not? Perhaps you started strong but are running out of steam. If so, go within and ask yourself how committed you are to your goals. Remember that it is okay to change your mind. Exactly, like I was telling you, like for those of you who picked a career path or picked a study path based on your parents' desire for you to become a certain thing, or live a certain lifestyle, or even go to college because they didn't get the chance, that may be not be your route. You know, you may want to go to be a carpenter or a plumber or a computer engineer or a fashion designer, who knows, or you may want to dance. You know, I'm not sure. Whatever it is something that you are absolutely being asked to contemplate during this time. Now, it will, like I'm saying things that relate to work and service because that's exactly what this moon is all about. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to take 3 deep breaths. On the third breath, I want you to close your eyes. And then afterwards, we're going to repeat this affirmation. So first, deep breath in. Commit this time to yourself as you breathe out. Second, deep breath in. Release all negative energy and thoughts. Now close your eyes for your last deep breath in. And release. Now repeat, I feel all my feelings and it feels good. I feel all my feelings and it feels good. I feel all my feelings and it feels good. Now, it's very interesting that this is obviously Pisces and not Gemini, but the fact that there's, you know, the Pisces is also the yin and yang of situations. So this advice might also be, like I was saying before, finding a way to combine Gemini, the both sides of your personality, so it's cohesive. That is all what Pisces is about, is trying to contort and control those two yin and yang energies within you into a fluid balance. So I think that's just also a clear, specific advice message for you. Thank you very much again. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. And don't forget to check out the short meditation at the end of this video. Love and light. All right, thank you very much, Libras, for joining back with me. You have here our 8 of inspiration. So not only do we have the 7, the Chariot, but you are on fire. You are in motion. You are go, go, go. And then we have the 10 of materials, gorgeous, gorgeous energy, gorgeous. And the Hanged Man. Okay, very interesting that the Hanged Man is there after all this like quick moving, fast paced. I mean, the 10 of materials is not fast paced energy, but it is Mercury and Virgo, which means wealth, right? And 8 of inspiration is like she is breaking the sound barrier, like faster than light, because the one image is being projected 4 times because she's moving so quickly the eye cannot decipher where she is, right? Flash. And look at that sun shining in the background. It's like, yeah, and some kind of eclipse where you can actually, or it's probably infrared. I think you can only see the sun in infrared, right? You actually, because you see the gases of it. It's beautiful. But again, this is a Virgo card, since we are in the moon in Virgo. I say quick action is important. Quick action is important, but the action it is that you normally take, or the way in which you interact with a specific type of situation, needs to change. That is what I'm getting from this Hanged Man kind of energy. Now, the Hanged Man can be, all about stopping and taking the time to assess a situation and find a new direction in which to address it or attack it or understand it. But you know, with this Chariot. And again, this could be around the Hermit energy. How I said this type of energy, there could be a certain situation or a certain person who is more grounded and offers a kind of spiritual or psychological or material advice, like a mentor of some sort. This may be a mentor that their experience in a situation or their life experience, the threads of their life, are just a little bit more, a little experienced, I guess. They're far more experienced than you. So their ability to view the situation through these threads of life, through this DNA, through this experience, they're able to provide some very lucrative, very beneficial advice, right? Like very smart, very grounded, very rooted advice, right? For the situation. Now, I'm getting water energy off of this, but just a second. Okay, so yes, it's water energy, and most specifically in the rune that represents this is the rune for the sea. Oh no, I mean the Hebrew hieroglyph that represents the hangman is the sea. The rune is representing Neptune and Odin, right? Both of those. So gods of these elements. And, you know, most oftentimes it's depicted with Odin's tree here, the tree of knowledge. Now, like I said, this could represent somebody else who has this knowledge and experience and that you can seek guidance from. So it attaches you to, like, as all this quick moving energy around you, all this Chariot energy, as you go through this shift in life, this transition, so you don't get, you know, locked away in feelings of defeat and constant battles. What this is really telling you is that there needs to be something personal to you that you are rooted in. You need to find this tree that keeps you stable. Like here, she's hanging on this thread, right? Or it's not like, you know, high beams, or I don't want to say contortionist is not the right word that's coming up, but yes, she's comfortable in this position, this like gymnastics, not aerobatics, aerobat. Oh my gosh, I'm not being able to say the word, but it's just, you know, it's telling you right now that you need to seek an attachment, or that a feeling, an attachment to something already exists, and that it will be the thing, the connection that gives you this confidence and this sense of peace and security as you move through this new stage and this new era. Like, this movement and everything is not telling you to leave your old life in the past, as far as, you know, attachment, or like even if you're moving someplace, which the Chariot could represent, it's not saying that you always have to leave that place behind. You always hold it somewhere within you, whether it's through like actual physical memorabilia, or whether it's, you know, smells or stories or memories or people. You know, people can connect you to places as well. But there's something about you that makes you happy, and there's a certain connection to this thing that will sustain you as you proceed through this process. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit, the Norse god of war is a symbol. Hebrew letter is the word for seas, so yes, it is a water element. The rune is called Tyr. It's the Norse god of war and laws, and the planet that represents this is Neptune. So that's where you also get the water energy from. I mean, Libra, there's not much else to say here. This is a beautiful, gorgeous outcome for you. This is a beautiful journey. Now, someone may be contacting you also with a message that will lead to true prosperity and security. This may be a message of love for some of you, actually, the way that I'm getting this, like somebody, a proposal of some sort, a combining of assets to lead to true prosperity. Now, if you're getting into that kind of relationship and marriage, I mean, that's what this message is all about, is don't forget who you are, where you came from. Hold on to that. Don't let it go. Don't give yourself up. Either one of you, whether male or female, not specific, you can both either, compromise too much of yourself in order to make something work. For others of you, it's definitely specifically related to job advancement. Some of you, again, moving to a place where you create a true soul family, like where you find your peoples, where you find your happiness. Like you didn't know you could love a place that much, right? All right, Libra, this is beautiful. So I'm going to go right in to giving you advice because there's not much else to say there. It looks amazing. And speaking, and this Chariot is a Cancer card, and you got last quarter moon in Cancer. Okay, if this happens again, this is going to be very interesting. Okay, so take a breather. Now, this is very good advice because, as I said, there is this energy is so quick moving. It's faster than the speed of light. Like it breaks sound barriers where you know the image isn't solid. You just seen projections basically of it. I don't know the scientific word for that, but it moves so quickly that you're seeing the projections of it instead of a solid outcome. So take a breather. Now, this is going to happen regardless. You are moving. It doesn't mean stop, slow down, or anything like that. But again, this Hermit energy is reminding you that there are times when you need to address a situation in a grounded, more stable, intellectual, and rational way. So I am going to read from about this last quarter moon in Cancer. This is not the book that has that in there. It is this book. Okay. Sometimes situations start with much promise and then get fatigued or fizzled out. This is normal. If a situation is dragging on and everyone is becoming far too sensitive, it might be time to take a breather. Is this still what you want? If a situation is slipping away from you, it could be due to self-doubt or because too many people are trying to get in their own way. If you're struggling to find a balance within a VIP in your life or a personal or professional connection, it might be time to show your feelings. So this is what I was talking about. If you're getting into a relationship, don't diminish your own light to do that. And as well, I was talking about, obviously there's a great opportunity for someone. And that in this general message, there may be people who have taught you to doubt yourself or you doubt yourself. And that, of course, that's you getting in your own way, like you'll go through the battles, you'll realize you're going to come out on top, but it just takes that time to contemplate it, right? To contemplate and assess. All right, so now I want to ask you to take 3 deep breaths. On the last breath, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and then afterwards you can repeat the affirmation after me, either out loud or to yourself. So let's start with the first deep breath in. And make sure to set this time for yourself. Now, second deep breath in. Release all the negativity and toxicity. Last breath in, close your eyes. And release. Now repeat after me. Love is all there is, and I am love. Love is all there is, and I am love. Love is all there is, and I am love. All right, thank you very much, Libra. This is gorgeous. Cancer, some of you might have, or I said Cancer is here and Cancer is here, so some of you might have Cancer in your rising or your sun sign. Also, this may be an important message specifically for the time of Cancer, which is, it's going to take a couple months, so June, end of June, July. Yes, but I think the advice is very clear. There's a lot of good things happen to you, but just don't lose yourself. Again, last quarter moons, I may have to do a whole nother, if one more person gets it, but last quarter moons are all about endings of cycles and beginning of new cycles. So when you're ending a cycle, it is all about questioning what worked, what didn't work, where you were going, how you want to get there, so you can really set up yourself for success as you move into the approaching cycle. All right, thank you very much, Libra, for joining me today. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I appreciate all the support. And don't forget to check the short breathing exercise out at the end of this video. Love and light. All right, thank you very much for returning to me. This is the section for Aquarius. Now, very interesting, Death. Aquarius, 7 in Inspiration, one of my favorite cards overall. Oh, love that card. And the 5 of Inspiration. So very interesting. We have the 5 of Inspiration in combination with the 5 of Materials. So I want to say there are somewhat fairly similar stories about there, similar energies, not the same energy, but similar energies. And the fact that the 5 of Materials here was supported by the 9 of Inspiration here, and then you got another Inspiration. And really, I want to say this one goes right out with it, because I feel like this is very similar in an essence of a 9 of Inspiration, because, you know, the 7 of Inspiration is about the battle that you're going, like, overcoming the battle, in a sense. It is the actual stage where you are learning how to overcome. And the 5, actually, of Inspiration is the fight that is happening, the learning how to navigate through treacherous waters or situations, or trying to adapt to new landscapes and perspectives. It is being thrown into a situation. This could be a new job, this could be a new community, this could be a new school, a new team, this could be a PTA group. Maybe your child is going to a new school and you have to participate with parents. Maybe you are that child having to go to a new school. What this is forcing you to adapt to any of these other perspectives or situations or viewpoints or ways of being or ways of community identity, right? Or ways of your individual identity and how you want to be. So this is like, which one of these is the right one? That kind of battle, right? And one of the ways you get through that is this 7 Inspiration, is learning how to create boundaries, knowing what the nonsense is, who the aggressors are, who the pacifists are, and who you are, right? And you are someone who can take all the warring factions, all the mental nonsense, all the physical oppression, and all the pain, and just cut it and push it away and create light. What is black? You create light. You are that horizon. You are that sun, right? You're strong. You're confident. You don't need to look at anyone anymore. You don't care how they see you. You are naked and you are strong, right? And so I feel like, this 5 is about feeling loneliness and almost like you can't do it. This is understanding that you are the answer. You are the key. And you are strong and you can do it. And this is what happens to you when you come out of that battle. Look at you walk through these gates, that what you would say beautiful leaders have all walked through. Like, that's like triumph, you know, a canyon of triumph. And you've walked through that gate. And I love, I mean, the death card, transformation, because it's coming out of the mind, right? Like, this almost really does, I mean, the paleness of it looks like someone who has died, right? And their mind opens up, and this birth of something that can fly away. Like, in this essence, here's the face, and it is covering the mouth so it can't speak, because it is all about the value of knowledge and knowing and accepting experience, thoughts and memories, right? Thoughts and memories and experiences. And it's about leaving this behind. So I think, really feel that this stage, this journey that you're going on, it almost feels like, because the Chariot too, like, it just feels like it's kind of coming at you. Like, normally this would be like years. It would take you years to like understand the lesson in this experience, to overcome this adversity, right? But you are charging through it with a speed, you know, the Chariot, the 7 of inspiration. Like, this, there's a speed to it. There's a fire to it, that it's happening quickly. Death and rebirth. I mean, after cycles, it's quite beautiful. I want to say death is Taurus. I don't know why I'm getting Taurus energy right now, but let me double check. That's the lucky card 13. Lucky number 13. No, duh. Why? Why would I? Of course it is. Scorpio, ruled by Pluto. Duh. Okay, it is the Scorpio card. So, you know, it's all about that deep kind of dark, like I was talking earlier, those bits and pieces and parts that even your closest friend, you kind of hold back. Even a possible sexual committed, you know, partner relationship, you hold back certain aspects of your life that, you know, you hold them back because there's a part of them that don't exist very long in your consciousness, and they don't present even particularly in your subconscious. It's just moments of weakness make you retreat into believing either these ideas or participating in behaviors or something that it doesn't happen very often, so you don't share them because you found a way to work through them, right? And so that's what this debt, it's that deep darkness about life, you know, the human psyche and human behavior. I mean, we're not perfect. We're beautiful, but we're beautiful because we're messy, right? Life is messy. So, which is also why I like this death card, because it is a icky death card. But rebirth is not easy. There are hard battles that need to be fought and won. You know? I mean, taking this many looks at yourself and seeing what you like and don't like. No one likes doing that kind of like full retrospection on your life. And again, this Virgo spinner's moon is all about the threads of life. You know, what have you done to get here? The kind of person that you've been. Have you kind of been the kind of person that has backstabbed your friends? Have you slept with good friends, lovers? Do you use sex as a power over people? Do you denigrate people, or do you use gaslighting? You know, like. Are you supportive? Are you there? Are you strong? Are you weak? Who are you? What do you want? Where have you been? Where are you going? These are all the things, like I said, all these are all those thoughts and those ideas and those experiences and those memories trying to close you in a cocoon of blackness and darkness, but you push them aside and push them away. Okay? So I'm going to give you an advice. Hopefully it's telling you how to deal with this situation, because obviously it shows me you're going to succeed. I don't know. It's going to move quicker than it would. What I said, death is ruled by Scorpio. Scorpio season isn't till October, November. So it may move quickly, but not that quickly for some of you. Okay. Oh, this is the wrong book. So let us get advice here for you, Aquarius. What do my Aquarius, that was pretty, kind of really want to know. Okay. New moon in Virgo. Again, keeping with this Virgo theme, this may not be the new moon, but it is the full moon in Virgo, the spinner's moon. So Virgo, though, time is much sooner than Scorpio. Well, not much sooner. It's really only 2 seasons before it. But Virgo season is going to be end of August, beginning of September. So new moon in Virgo. Let's see what the new moon in Virgo has to say. So trust all will be well. I think that's also good. So this death, this transformation might be painful for you, okay? Like, this isn't easy going. Like, I don't know if I emphasize that enough. This isn't an easy path. Like, all this darkness trying to cave in on you, all this self-doubt, this Scorpio energy, this is not easy. And like I said, nobody likes to look at all those sides of themselves and face certain realities that we try not to accept about ourselves, right? Okay, sometimes we want everything to happen yesterday, but divine timing is a real thing. Sometimes we need more pieces of a jigsaw to fall into place before we can get what we want. Slowing down now is the key for you to get what you want. So take your time and allow events to unfold. See what you can do for others as a really quick and easy way both to distract yourself and to boost your good karma while you wait for your dreams to manifest. There's a reason why you pulled this card, so make sure you pay attention. So trust all will be well. Now, yes, some of the messages in there were about slowness, and I get that the Hermit is there, and I guess that the Death card is here. So, but the 7 of Inspiration, the 5 of Inspiration also promotes some kind of sense of a surprising quick action regarding this. Now, it is going to take times of reflection. Absolutely. You don't get to this place without reflecting. You don't go through the death situation without reflecting. But I think you're much farther along in your path than you were, let's say, the last time you may have had to learn this lesson. Okay? Oh, I forgot. Let me check if there's a yes. Okay. So I want you to take 3 deep breaths. On the last deep breath, I am going to ask you to close your eyes, and then afterwards you're going to repeat this affirmation with me, either to yourself or out loud. All right? So first deep breath in, and determine that this time is dedicated to your well-being. Second deep breath in, and release all negativity and toxicity. Now close your eyes. Third deep breath in, and release. I help others, and others help me. I help others, and others help me. I help others, and others help me. Now, I want to remind you, I know it's been longer for me than it has for you, but at the beginning of this reading, I mentioned that one of the things about the Virgo full moon is, at the end of the day, contemplating or calculating what people owe you and what you owe that, what you owe them, like if it's doing favors for them, what they owe you in return, so whom do we owe and who owes us. So this could definitely be another direct correlation, not only for you for this moon, as a message that the people in which you seek help and assistance from are those that you have always been there for as well. All right, because you can trust them, because as far as service goes and the 6th house energy, they actually might just be waiting for the opportunity to help you the way that you've helped them. Okay? Thank you very much, Aquarius. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I appreciate all the support. And right after is a short meditation. Love and light. Now take a deep breath in, deep, pure, clear, purifying energy. Pure white light. Now just calm yourself and focus in on the sounds.